Konnichiwa, Japan fans. In today's show, we're going to talk about Nemawashi. Eigo desu. それでは行きましょう. So let's get going. This is the fourth year of the Sales Japan Series podcast, and we are broadcasting around the world from the Beverly Hills of Japan, Minato-ku. It is Chic Central. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guide committed to your success, the president of Dale Carnegie Training Japan, the best-selling author, Japan Sales Mastery and Japan Business Mastery, and my new book, Japan Presentations Mastery, will be released shortly. In this podcast, I want to help you to survive COVID-19. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn, who, unlike many other podcast hosts, have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on iTunes. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. Tuesdays, the Presentation Japan Series. Every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsujin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan Series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan Series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show. And Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. This is episode number 240, and we are talking about Nemawashi is gold when getting agreement in Japan. I hear some people say translating terms like Nemawashi into English is difficult. Really? I always thought it was one of the easier ones. Let's just call it groundwork. In fact, that is a very accurate description from a number of different angles. Japanese gardeners are superstars. There is limited flat space in this country, so over centuries, gardeners have worked out you need to move the trees you want to where you want them. They prefer this approach to just waiting 30 years for them to turn out the preferred way. It is not unusual today to see a huge tree on the back of a big truck being moved from one location to another, and presto, instant garden. The roots of that massive tree will be wrapped up in cloth to protect them. That wrapping process is called Nemawashi. In business, it means being well prepared for the business meeting, doing the groundwork beforehand. In a Western context, being well prepared for the meeting will mean assembling all the data and analysis in order to make an impassioned plea for your idea or suggestion to be accepted by the big bosses. We will get to the meeting, listen to the different approaches, and we make a decision in that meeting. What could be more time efficient and logical? They never do it that way in Japan. Concepts of time efficiency differ for a start, and throwing massive amounts of overtime at a problem is not a problem in Japan. The meeting is also a ceremony because the decision has already been arrived at beforehand, and the gathering is just to formalize the outcome. This happens in the West too. Whenever you see global leaders delivering their joint statements or signing agreements, they didn't arrive at the wording during the meeting. That was all worked out by their minions beforehand, over many hours of debate, negotiation, and discussion. The TV cameras just capture the big guys and gals inking the document after all the groundwork has been completed. I was talking with a Western businessman recently, and he was relating how hard it was to get the team behind his ideas. The issue was, he was trying to get it all agreed to at the key meeting, and hadn't invested the time to do the groundwork. What he needed to do was go to see all the key people, the influencers, the stakeholders with a vested interest, and explain the idea, get their input and agreement, and then rinse and repeat with the rest of them. By the time the meeting happens, everyone will recognize parts of their preferences and ideas in the submission. Agreement flows easily in these cases. Find out more. We come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public programs, but we also do custom-made in-house classes. Now, we do them in our super safe classroom, we do them live online, and we do them in Japanese, and we do them in English. Today's show is brought to you by, on June 9, How to Present Online, June 11, Performance Evaluation, June 15, Managing Stress, June 16, first number 1 in a 5-session series on virtual selling, June 18, we're doing evaluation systems and coaching. You can find out more about those programs on our website at enjapan.dalecarnegie.com, and you can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Get my best-selling books, Japan Sales Mastery, the Bible for selling in Japan, and Japan Business Mastery, and my new book, Japan Presentations Mastery. If you like learning by watching videos, we have over 1,000 for you there on Japan Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show in Japan, comes out Mondays. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show, and Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders in Japan from SMEs all the way up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Now, every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Terebi Show. And don't forget, you can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Welcome back. In sales, we will probably not have direct access to all of the decision makers, influencers, and stakeholders. Our primary contact has to become our champion for shepherding the agreement through the internal Nemawashi process. Asking them directly, who are these hidden decision makers, is insulting. It says, you're a nobody, but I still need your help. We need to be more considerate of their face and ask in a way that enhances their face. Once we've established the trust, have uncovered their needs, shown we can help, and have dealt with any hesitations they may have, we are ready to marshal our forces for the final push through to a yes to the sale. We explain. We understand that many people will be interested to know about this change in the delivery of product or services. We also know that they will be tasked to explain it to others who cannot join our meetings. We ask, how can we help them? This is a rhetorical question because we want to get into the detail of who are the players. So we go straight into asking, who do they think would have the most concern about the change, and why would they be concerned? We keep repeating this process until we've fleshed out the people who will have the most interest in saying no. The next stage is to arm our champion with the tools to deal with the pushback. We try to understand the concerns and then arrive at creative ways of overcoming those concerns. This is what we mean by Nemawashi, or groundwork. Is it time-consuming? Yes. Do we have to invest the extra time? Yes. There is an internal logic to the way decisions are made in Japan. There is no point railing about how the Japanese business decision-making process should be westernized so it is more familiar for us. That is never going to happen. So we need to be better and more flexible to understand the system and then become a master of influence within it. We need to become the Nemawashi Maestro. Thank you for joining the Sales Japan series. If you found the program useful, please work on your karma and share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Immediately apply what you've learned today, use it, and go out there and survive. Remember, I'm your corporate coaching and training guy in your corner, committed to your success here in Nippon.